Welcome back to day 7 of our 21-day Mindset Reboot Challenge. Today, we're going to be doing another round of Curvy Girl Yoga. You do not have to be a curvy girl in order to do this practice, but I am. Also, make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss any of the days that are posted on this 21-day challenge. Make sure you get into some comfy clothes, but if you're not in workout specific clothes or yoga clothes, that's okay. Don't let that stop you. So if that means you just strolled in from work and you're in clothes that are good enough to do yoga, do it. Today we start our practice in a seated position. Get nice and comfortable. Place your hands on your knees. Close your eyes and gently tilt your chin to your chest. Set your intention for today's practice. What would you like to get out of today? Take a deep breath in and out. There's no rush. Don't be eager to get to the next thing. Be right where you are now. Take one more inhale in and out. Gently open your eyes. We're going to give our head a little stretch. Bring your head over to one side and look down. And the other side. And then go the other way. Look down to the other side and up. And now just loosen up your neck and listen to your body. If there's anything in your neck that needs a little more stretch, just go ahead and work out all the kinks right here. Maybe one side's a little tighter than the other. Great. We're going to do a little cat-cow in our seated position. So round your back all the way. Breathe out. And on an inhale, bring it forward. And lift your chest up to the sky. And again. And up. Back to center. Walk your hands forward, one hand at a time, as far as you can reach, and then look down. Take a couple breaths here. On an inhale, come up to seated. We're going to swing our legs to one side and make your way up to your knees. Place your hands on your hips. Make sure your knees are hip distant apart and square. We're going to put our right leg out to one side. Make sure you get nice and steady. And then use your opposite hand, your left hand, on an inhale, rise up. And on an exhale, go over. Today is all about balance. So the majority of our moves are going to require for you to balance one side to the other. Take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, release. If you notice, I'm talking about when to breathe in and when to breathe out. This is connecting your breathing to your practice, which is the whole purpose of yoga. It's the mind, body, breath connection. Okay, we're gonna take our left foot out this time. Move my block. Once you feel steady, go ahead on an inhale, bring your right arm up. And on an exhale, reach over. If this is feeling good for you, you could always turn your head up to look at your arm. One last inhale in. And on an exhale, release. Let's get into our tabletop position. With a flat back, we're going to tuck our toes. And on an inhale, send your hips back to downward dog. Take a couple good breaths here while we're waking up our body. Go ahead and pedal your feet. So drop your right heel to the floor, bend your left knee, and then switch. One foot might have more range of movement than the other, and that's okay. Give your head a little shake. Make sure you're not holding any tension in your neck and shoulders. Switch feet again. And one more time, switch again. And now we're going to walk our feet up to meet our hands. Go ahead and drop your head and forward fold. This forward fold is called ragdoll. So think of your body as like a loose ragdoll. Give it a little sway. Maybe grab your elbows. Don't be in a hurry. Stay here. And then we're going to slowly bend our knees and roll 1 inch at a time all the way up. And bring your shoulders back. Maybe give it like 2 or 3 rolls to the back. Let your hands meet up at your chest. Remember your intention for today's practice. And on an inhale, bend and reach up, all the way up as high as you can reach, and then dive all the way down to the ground. Slowly lift to a flat back, and back down. I'm going to turn forward because we're not going to go into a vinyasa just yet. From here, we're going to bend our knees and rise our hands to a chair position. Adjust your feet, get comfortable, take a deep breath in, and sink a little lower. We'll come back here soon, okay? Go back down. Lift your tailbone up. And we're going to step back into our plank. Slowly lower down. And up into cobra. Let out a big Tuck your toes, look down at the ground, and rise up to downward facing dog. Good work so far. Take a minute to catch your breath. Now we're going to lift our right leg up. Keep your hips square to the ground. Don't turn them open like this. And we're going to step that foot all the way through to the front of the mat. Sometimes I have to pick up my leg to adjust it. So we're in a high lunge. We're going to reach our arms up to the sky and take 2 deep breaths here. This is warrior one. Great job so far. Lift your chest open to the sky. And on your next exhale, drop your hands down to warrior two and rotate on your back heel. Lunge a little bit deeper into your right knee. You're going to reach forward, drop your back arm, and raise it up to the sky. And then pinwheel back to warrior two, and pinwheel all the way down to the ground. Go back into your plank. Chest forward, lower down, cobra. I think you're starting to feel the heat. Go ahead and tuck your toes back into downward dog. Go ahead and rise up the other foot. For me, it's my left. Keeping your hips square. Three-legged dog. Hold this for a couple breaths. A little shaking is totally okay. Bring that foot all the way to the front of the mat. I have to adjust. Now you should be in a high lunge. We're going to slowly raise our arms up into warrior one. See if you can sink a little lower. Deep breath, chest up to the sky. Give thanks to all that you have. And bring it down to warrior two. Make sure you pivot on that back ankle. Lunge a little deeper. Bring your arm forward, drop the back, and raise the front. Give it a few breaths here. Don't be in a rush. Give each pose its own moment. And come back up and pinwheel all the way down. Back to plank. Lower slowly. Up to cobra. And this time, instead of going to downward dog, we're going to go to child's pose. So bring your feet together in the back behind you and stretch those arms to your resting position. As you can tell, I'm ready for a child's pose. When you're ready, go ahead, come back up to tabletop position. Tuck your toes, bring yourself to downward dog. Now we're going to walk our feet back up to meet our hands, or hands back to our feet, forward fold, and bring your arms out to the side all the way up. And back to the center. Great job, everyone. On an inhale, bring your arms up. Reach as high as you can possibly reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. I'm going to turn to face you again. Keep your knees bent and bring yourself up into chair pose. Now I told you we were going to work a little bit on balance today. So try to lean ever so subtly your weight into your left foot and lift your right toe. Drop your shoulder blades in the back so you're not holding pressure there. And slowly lift that foot. Wobbling is okay. Find a steady spot to focus on. See if you can sink a little lower. Go ahead and lower that foot. Shift all your weight into your right foot this time. Slowly lift up to toe and then off the ground. Good job. Find a fixated spot to focus on. Remind yourself that in life, balance always takes focus. So right now, we're not worrying about anything else except for this balance. And on your next inhale, go ahead and step up. Woo! Wiggle yourself out a little. This is awesome. You are doing so well. If at any time any of these poses are tricky or they don't feel right, just find a pose that works for you. You can always find yourself in child's pose if you need a rest as well. Okay, we're going to do one more balancing pose before we get back on the mat, on the ground. So here, we're going to go ahead and hug our knee. Let's start with the right into our chest. Open it out to the side. And then place your foot wherever it feels comfortable. Try not to collapse your hip. Ooh. And then if you feel comfortable, bring your tree up into tree pose. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Bring your hands back to your chest. And step out slowly. Same thing on the other side. Here we go. You can do it. Bring your knee up to your chest. Give it a squeeze. Out to the side. And then tuck your foot wherever it feels comfortable. Woo! Okay. One side is sometimes easier than the other. Okay, find a fixated spot. Ooh, I'm so wobbly. And bring your arms up into tree pose. I'm going to lower mine just a bit so I can get stable. If your foot is touching the ground, that's okay. If it's on your ankle, your calf, your thigh, wherever feels comfortable for you. Give yourself 2 more deep breaths in. Last one. knees back to center and release. Shake it out. Great job. Go ahead and find your way back to the mat. And here, we're going to do one more challenge before we get into some more comfy stretching, and then of course Shavasana, which is your nice meditative state. So let's start with your knees up, arms out. You're going to lift one knee up until your shin is flat or parallel to the floor, and then the other. Ooh, feel that shaking? 1, 2, 3, and then lower slowly all the way down. Okay. From here, let's keep one foot flat. I have my left foot flat. We'll raise our right knee in and bring it across our body. Keep your right arm out to the side as you look over your right shoulder for a nice twist. Bring it back to center. Straighten both legs. Now bring your left knee in, hug it, and bring it across to the opposite side for a nice twist. Oh, this feels so good on my lower back. And last, we're going to hug both knees in. Go ahead and move your lower back around a little. Give it some nice rocking. Work out any tightness or soreness. And then give it one more squeeze before you release into a nice starfish position. For our final resting pose, Shavasana. Take a few minutes here to relax, to remember your intention that you set for this practice, and the intention that you set for the 21-day Mindset Reboot Challenge. You should feel good about showing up for yourself today and for the last 7 days. Don't be in a rush. Give yourself this time. You did some awesome work today. Now you get to rest. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. If you feel ready, start to gently open your eyes. Roll over onto one side and back up. Thank you so much for joining me for day 7 of the 21-day Mindset Reboot Challenge. You did amazing work today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.